On the street is that you guys aren't allowed to be liberal anymore. Is that the case?
I don't think we ever were liberal.
What?
Yes, I don't think we ever were.
That's not me saying that. That's the people out there saying that he's not letting you be liberal anymore.
Well, listen, I think what Chris is saying is that he wants Republicans, sensible Republicans. He wants us to hold people to account, but he wants people to come on and feel comfortable with coming on and talking on CNN.
You heard that right, folks. That was CNN anchor Don Lemon denying that the cable news provider he works for ever leaned liberal, which is interesting, right? Let's just set the years of Trump bashing aside. If CNN wasn't liberal, would they have endorsed this insanity?
And I have to say, Kathy, nice rack. I didn't know you had all of that going on up there.
Still patting the heat, Don.
Applaud you for that. Don't get blood on the jacket. It has to go back. It goes back to Brooks Brothers.
Here we go. Here's the needle.
Oh!
Here's the needle.
Ow! And we're going to throw it to break. We're going to do a second line. This is New Orleans second line. I don't give a what you think about me. What do you think about? I don't care. I'm a grown man. I don't care what you think about me. I'm alive. I am who I am. I'm a grown, successful black man. And you know what? You can kiss my behind. I do not care. I don't care.
Well, to be fair, he did get demoted to the morning program. Don Lemon's latest comments come as CNN's new CEO, Chris Licht, was tapped to replace ousted CEO Jeff Zucker to revamp the failing network. Now, since taking on the role earlier this year, CNN's new top boss axed the very divisive Brian Stelter, as well as White House correspondent John Harwood, who is known for his shrill anti-Trump views. Well, here to discuss is president of District Media Group and the host of the She Thinks podcast, Beverly Hallberg. Beverly, thanks for joining us. You got to laugh at Don Lemon. What's your reaction to his claim that CNN has never been liberal? I mean, does he think that his audience is stupid?
Well, first of all, I think it's good that CNN issued a no drinking policy on their show. I think that was one of the important things to institute so we didn't see more of Don Lemon acting a fool in a drunk way. But beyond that, I kept waiting for the punchline when he and Stephen Colbert were talking about this, because CNN is obviously liberal. Everybody knows this. Now, some have said that this was gaslighting on part of Don Lemon, treating Americans as stupid, that they wouldn't figure this out. But my take on this is I often think progressives don't know how liberal they really are. They're so used to being around each other, the media elite only talking to each other. They're in their silos, and they're so out of touch with the average American that they can't even see their ideas for what they are. And he even talked in this about wanting to have on reasonable Republicans as there's been this change in CNN. And I think that points to what's really been going on, which is, first of all, they don't find many Republicans very reasonable. So they're pulling from a very small pool that they deem appropriate. But it's also showing that the majority of Republicans out there, especially those who voted for Trump, they don't see you as reasonable. They think you're unreasonable, that your voices shouldn't be heard, that your opinion shouldn't be heard. And so even though there has been this change at CNN, I'm not sure all their anchors are on board. We'll see how long Don Lemon lasts, even on his new role in the morning show.
It's so true. I think they're going to have to clean house if they really want a change in the mentality over there. So many of them look at Trump supporters or people who vote Republican as domestic terrorists. This administration has trained them to think that way, and it works for them to an extent, but certainly it's not paying off in the ratings. And here's an interesting fact that our viewers may not know about, but before becoming CNN's top boss, Chris Licht was actually Stephen Colbert's executive producer. I would imagine that Colbert is still close with him. Do you think that this interview was set up maybe for publicity, maybe for damage control, to help convince CNN that, or help convince people that CNN has journalistic standards? What do you think?
Well, I think anytime you can get a show to promote CNN, that's going to be hopefully good for ratings for CNN. So I'm sure this relationship that he has with Colbert is something that played a role in this. But here's the reality is that unless they actually change their programming, unless they change the type of topics they cover, unless they change the narrative of which it is done in, unless they show that on non-opinion shows, that on the shows that are supposed to be straight news, that they actually cover the news and and they respect their audience enough for the audience members to decide for themselves, people are going to continue to turn the channel. At the end of the day, CNN is still a business, and they realize unless they make changes, they're going to lose their entire customer base. They're going to lose their financial stake in all of this. So I think
question
they're
about
holding
it.
their I think they're
Beverly,
holding their noses as they make these decisions.
Let me ask you real quick. One TV show we know about that definitely leans left is The View. Today, they had Alyssa Milano on the show to discuss the recent feud she had with Elon Musk. Let's play that really quick.
I'm so annoyed with all of these billionaires, with like the exception of a few, but especially Elon Musk. Like, you buy Twitter to destroy it for $40 billion, right? $40 billion. Elon Musk, imagine if he donated that money to UNICEF.
I know.
Yeah.
He would...
Only got about 20 seconds, but your thoughts on Alyssa Milano on The View there?
Here's what I will say. At least give her credit for staying on the platform, even though she thinks she just doesn't want to cede territory to the evil conservatives. Whoopi Goldberg has gone off of it because she says they don't have control anymore, and that's what it really comes down to. Liberals are afraid of not having control of your speech.
Yeah, it's true. It's like when they all said they were moving to Canada when Trump became president, but still, so many of them here. I don't know why. Beverly Hallberg, a pleasure to have you on the show tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much.